Children's Aid, Stasia Milligan. Good morning.
Good morning.
Welcome back. We're getting close to one of your exciting events of the year,
Yes.
the 5K. And this has been going on, do you know how many years?
22 years. This will be our 22nd annual event.
That's amazing.
Fun fact, do you know who started this event?
I do not.
Bruce Inocencio.
Oh, yeah.
Very good.
Bruce is still the race leader for the event.
That's very good.
Yeah, I think this was the first, this might have been the first race, oh no, this was the last, was this the last race we did before the pandemic 4 years ago?
Yes,
Might have
it was.
been. Yes,
It
it would have
was.
been because
It-
it would have been in April.
It was. Yeah.
So last year, and it's there's your leader, Bob Powell,
Dr. Bob?
pushing the oranges and water. So it moved to Parkside last year. Is that where it is this year?
Yes.
Yes.
It is in the same place. It's April 27th, and it starts at 9 o'clock. They can register anytime. Our registration is both on our Facebook page and our website.
Awesome. Great event. Sign up and help support. Now, today we're going to talk a little about foster care, and we need foster parents in town, don't we?
Yes, we always need foster parents, especially for kids who are older.
Okay.
So your kids who are over the age of 8 are always harder to place. So we're always looking for families who are open to doing temporary foster care. And what that means is they're willing to take a child in for anywhere from 6 months to 18 months and care for a child while we work on reunifying the child with their family.
So Stasia, what's the difference between foster parent and adoptive parent? Is it the length of time?
Yes, because foster care is a temporary situation. So a foster parent is agreed to temporarily care for a child while we work with the family to try to reunify them with their parents. Almost all children who come into foster care, their goal is reunification in the beginning. So we do that, and then if we are unable to reunify the family, then that's when we need people who would adopt the child out of foster care.
So
and that's a permanent situation.
That's interesting. Yeah, that's interesting. Kind of, there's so much unknown, right? You think you know about being a foster parent, but yeah, I didn't think I realized that. And we talk about it all the time. So you could be in a 2-month situation, a 9-month situation. What other things should people should know about foster care if they're considering it, or they think, maybe that's something my family should do?
Well, they should know that we are open to all kinds of families. So people who are married couples, who are single people, who are cohabitating couples. We are interested in anyone who really loves being a parent or who maybe hasn't been a parent but who would like to be a parent. And we will provide training, we provide lots of support for kids. They come into care, we do a reimbursement, a daily rate that they are reimbursed for expenses. They come in with medical insurance, dental insurance, vision insurance. The family receives a lot of support from case managers and the agencies that work with kids in foster care. We are happy to do an orientation for anyone that's just interested in exploring it.
That's interesting, with the insurance, doctor's appointments, things like that. That might be a little bit of a hesitation barrier to entry, but it's as easy as taking your own child to the doctor.
Absolutely, yeah.
And what happens? How does someone get into foster care?
How does a child get into foster?
How does a child?
What are the situations where you have to place a child somewhere that's not their family?
So the vast majority of kids who come into foster care in Michigan and nationwide is because of neglect. And what that means is their basic needs or medical needs are not being met by their parents, and that's not because they're poor, all right? We don't remove children just because of poverty. Instead, it's because there's some other things going on in the family. The biggest reasons are substance abuse, domestic violence, or mental illness. That's not being treated. And so when it is no longer safe for a child to stay in the parent's home, that's when Child Protective Services goes to the court and asks for a removal petition.
Those women on Instagram.
Yeah, the influencers. Yeah, I don't know if
Influencers.
you
They
saw
were
that.
they were telling other people how to raise their kids, and they were
They were in the middle of neglecting their own,
Yeah.
and now they're in
and they had
prison.
plenty of money.
Yeah,
And now
they're in
they're-
prison. Neglect might mean something different to Bart or I than it means to you or Brandon. Talk a little bit about neglect, and I mean, it's a big community. We all see a lot of things. How do you know if you see a sign of neglect?
Well, when a child does not appear to have their basic needs met, so food, clothing, shelter, going to school, being supervised appropriately, that's a big one, especially for younger children who aren't being supervised appropriately. If you see children out in the neighborhood at night, or they're simply too young to be out there by themselves, that could be a problem. And so Child Protective Services has a centralized intake 800 number that anyone can call. And it can be anonymous. You don't have to tell them who you are, but you can call and make a report, and they will investigate it. Or if there's enough evidence, they'll investigate it. And they'll determine whether it's actually neglect or not. A child won't be removed until after a thorough investigation of the circumstances.
Well, we've all seen a 2-year-old run down the street in just diapers.
Well, that once in a while can happen on accident.
That can happen on accident.
Yeah. Don't forget your son ran away from home one time, Bart, so you might want to.
Yes. Yeah.
All right, we need help to support the programs and services of FSCA, and one great way is to participate in the 5K coming up. And you can register right now, scan the QR code. And this is always a great opportunity to get some fresh air exercise and help support Family Service and Children's Aid. Stasia, thanks for coming in.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you.
Stasia Milligan is Chief Program Director of Family Service and Children's Aid. More of the morning show after this.